On June 11th, 2022, I released a teaser for a little thing called Thomas and Friends Down the Line. Back then, I was a little wary about doing anything Thomas the Tank Engine related, because at the time, Thomas the Tank Engine was seen as just another kid's show. So, I decided to have people put it to a vote. Should I do this series? And after getting positive reception, I decided to do it. So, less than a month after the announcement, I announced that Thomas and Friends Down the Line would officially be a thing. But then after that, I wouldn't say a single thing about it until now. After the announcement, I would go on to make a few trailers and then eventually an episode for the series. However, things would go south as this all took place before the roller coaster incident. So unfortunately, I lost all my progress and had to start over from scratch. Now it's today, and I feel like I'm at a point where I can show off what the series has become. So, this is an overview of Thomas and Friends Down the Line. So first things first, let's go over the format of the episodes. The episodes will start with the intro, of course. Then, there will be a Meet the Character segment. Then, the episode itself. And finally, the end credits. Let's first talk about the Meet the Character segments. These little segments are for two purposes. One, to introduce each character to a new audience. And secondly, to show my headcanon for each character. For example, Edward has an LNER-styled cab in the TV series, despite having a completely different cab in real life. So my headcanon for Edward is that he did used to have this old-styled cab, but when he came to Sodor, he was given an overhaul at Crovan's Gate Works, which gave him a new cab. It's basically like this for every single character. Now, I like to try to pair these segments with the episode that has them as a big role. For example, if I have an episode based on Thomas, I will include Thomas's Meet the Character segment with that episode. But at the same time, I don't really want to repeat these segments, simply because I don't want it to feel repetitive. Now, as you saw, I'm also going to include the borders from the learning segments in the hit era, simply because I think it's cool and funny. And that's basically it for the Meet the Character segments. Now let's talk about the episodes themselves. So, if you'll recall from the initial announcement of Thomas and Friends Down the Line, I stated that I kind of wanted to do like an audiobook sort of thing. However, I decided to scrap that idea, and now it's just episodes in the style of the TV series. Now, I don't really have a standard for episode length, but I try to aim for around 6.5 minutes. The reason I do this is because it gives me enough time to tell a story in good detail, whilst also not feeling drawn out like the hit era. However, I am willing to compensate. If an episode needs more time to tell a good story, then I am willing to make the episode longer. If an episode feels like it's wasting time too much, then I'll make the episode shorter. Just like the model series, the episodes will be narrated by one lone narrator, myself. And just like the teaser, it's going to be filmed with Trackmaster and Playrail models. Now, I don't really have a release date for all this, although I am aiming for early 2023. However, that's my hope. I might have to push the series back to mid or even late 2023. If that does end up happening, blame school. It's all their fault. And that's it for this overview. I hope you enjoyed this video. At the time of this recording, I have finished 3 episodes, and I'm currently working on the 4th. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It seriously helps me out a ton, and I will see you guys later. Deuces.